Good morning, Yukon! These bags make things a lot easier when it comes to organizing and finding things in my food barrel. There's 3 of them, so I put like things together, but since it's a full load, I tuck all the remaining stuff around it. Well, I have packing up camp down to, I won't call it a science, but pretty dialed in. First thing in the tent, I pack up my clothes bag, pack up my sleeping bag, and then I come outside, put the water on to boil, take down the tent, pack the tent up, and usually by the time I'm done that, the water's boiling, so I don't have to sit there and watch water boil. As fun as that may sound. Some bacon. That always hits the spot. I have 18 kilometers to go to get to the Hart River, and you know, this takes like a full 2 days, full day and a half if the water's higher than this. So I'm hoping I can get it done today and camp at the confluence of Elliott Creek and the Hart. A little creamer. A lot of creamer. Rationing your creamer for a trip this long is an advanced bushcrafting skill. What a beautiful place to have a morning coffee. Unbelievable. One of the reasons I keep coming back to the Yukon in the north is because you really get addicted to it. If you go once, chances are you're gonna come back. I remember one of the first northern trips I did was the Nahanni, when me and my brother were in I think my brother was 20, I was 22, and we did a self-guided trip, put it all on our credit cards, and everybody was saying, well, that's a once in a lifetime trip, and I just couldn't accept that this would be a once in a lifetime type of experience for me. And I've been doing this for 18 years, traveling remote northern rivers every year. I'm really glad I did it. I feel like the Yukon itself is a place that is built in a large sense off of people who followed their dreams. That statue in downtown Whitehorse that has a Klondike stampeder, and a lot of the people that came into the country to find gold found something else, and they found a connection to the Yukon's beauty and the true wilderness of it. Just like the Robert Service poem, The Spell of the Yukon. The guy went, he found gold, he was rich, got bored, would rather just live a life as a sourdough in the wilderness, didn't care about money. I find it important just to sit back and look at where I've come and the experiences that I've had. Oh, goodbye campsite. You were pretty good in the end. All right, on the water. Definitely not getting down this without dragging. Oh man, this is shallow. Looks like the water has gone down. Got to try to do a push day today. Super shallow. It's not even wading. This is just dragging over rocks at this point. Can we make it down this little tongue here? It's looking not too good. There's no doubt. Oh yeah! Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't want to jinx myself, that it's gotten a little better. Oh, baby ducks, baby ducks. Well, things started off pretty rough, but they have picked up here on Elliott Creek, and I've actually managed to float over some shallow swifts. It's picking up speed. It's becoming easier to navigate without jumping out, yet a little more tricky and potentially an area where you might get to run into problems if those shallow swifts get any steeper and faster, but I don't think it'll be anything too crazy. Also, it could change around the next bend, who knows. I just kicked up a family of ducks coming through this little swift. They must have had a nest right on the bank there, and they jumped into the swift and swam down. One stayed back there, but I'm going to give them a little bit of time to reevaluate and let them get out on shore, because I don't want to just keep scaring them and pushing them down the river. Ducks don't realize that I'm traveling the river, and so they'll hide around the next bend, and then I'll go around the next bend, scare them again, and at the end of the day, I've scared the ducks, multiple kilometers. It could be detrimental to their well-being. So, in an attempt to not make as much as an impact here, a useless impact, I think I'm going to let those ducks have a couple minutes, and hopefully they figure it out and hop back on shore and come back this way or something, and I don't keep kicking them down. Some cool looking algae on these rocks. The Hart River is just the most unbroken stretch of wilderness river in the entire Peel watershed, which is a massive, massive area. The Wind, the Hart, the Bonnet Plume, the Snake, many other tributaries all pour into the Peel, which ends up going out of the Yukon into the Northwest Territories, past Fort McPherson, and eventually meets up with the Mackenzie and goes all the way to the Arctic Ocean. Well, that was like a half wade, half run. Definitely a lot faster than the long wading stretches. Oh! That was a hard thud. Mark from Up North Adventures, I apologize for the scrapes on your boat. Probably going to be a little gel coat repair after this. I'm just plugging along here, you know, like one of the good things is that I'm not as pushed for time on this trip than I was on the Bonnet, Plume, and Hess. Because I'm not as pushed for time, it means that I don't have to stress out as much. So, you know, it would be nice to get through this sooner, and then I could spend some more time fishing, hiking, these kinds of things. But you get what you get out here, and sometimes you never know what nature might throw at you. So you do your best to deal with it one step at a time. Got one. A big, nice grayling. Whoa! Yeah! Good eating size. So, pretty long drag, and I reach a tributary, but it's pouring more water into Elliott Creek. So I'm hoping that raises the volume a little bit, so I might be able to float over some of these shallow swifts. There's a big oxbow lake here. An oxbow lake is when a creek or a river takes big bends like that, the sediment builds up in between the bends, and the main river diverts from it, leaving a horseshoe style lake that looks like an oxbow. And that's what you call an oxbow lake. Sometimes they're still connected by water, sometimes they're completely separate, but it just goes to show how rivers change over time, especially ones that bend and weave. So it usually takes a good amount of time for an oxbow lake to get created, but however, on these rivers that have rushing spring runoffs, stuff like that, you can't always trust your topographic map 100% because things change out here, and that's just how it is. But anyways, I'm hoping this tributary is going to raise the water level. Looked like a good spot. I took a few casts here, got a follow, had to put in a little bit of time, but ended up catching a nice keeper grayling. So I'm going to have some fish for dinner tonight again. That's exciting, but got to push on. I haven't even made it as far today as I had yesterday. So the odds of me making another 13K aren't looking spectacular, considering it's probably about 1 in the afternoon, maybe 1:30, but I'm gonna try. We're here. We have to go all the way to here. There's a train coming. It ain't got no track. I'm on the high road and I'm never coming back without gonna give us some more water. Well, with more trees close to the river now, it means potential for sweepers. Even something I might have to pick up and portage around or haul over, and they can also be dangerous. So I got to keep my eyes peeled a little bit more than upriver. I noticed another tributary pouring in, so maybe we'll have a little volume. Not much water coming out of it though, but it looks like we got some current and deep conditions here. So much water's getting in the canoe from my boots, and I'm wondering if it's making me float lower.
Starting to get a little concerned. This could take me like 4 days or more. I cut a pole. But I'm still not moving. But at least I don't have to drag. I can just float the canoe down for the most part. Well, I just dragged down a very, very long, shallow, rocky swift. I cut a pole and I was hoping maybe I could stand and see the rocks and pole, but as soon as I stepped in the canoe, I was stuck and I was able to float it, but by the end I was just dragging it. A little deeper water up here I see, but my guess it won't last for long, but that was pretty arduous. The character of this has changed, and look at what we're in all of a sudden. It's just a braided section, but it's very narrow. A sweeper around the corner, which is a down tree. Some people call them strainers. Could be very dangerous through here, but at least I'm not walking, so I'll take it. Well, I've been going at this all day. It's about 5:30 and I'm not even halfway to the Hart River. But here's a little swift. Yeah! Made it down that one. Looks like I'm going to be getting out again though. So I don't think I'm going to make it today. Unless I really want to push. I'm probably going to push late, but I should make it tomorrow. But I might only just make it tomorrow, so that's like going to be, you know, potentially 2.5 days, 2 full days and a half day when I got dropped off. just saw 3 chunky grayling swimming in this crystal clear pool of water here. So I had to pull over and take a couple casts. Grayling, where are you? Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at that. Love it. Fish, crystal clear water. You can paddle. Oh, got another one. Oh, huge. Oh, I lost it. Oh, look, it's trying to hit it. Bam! There it is. There it is. Come here. Oh, it's not the same big one. What a little honey hole I found here. Yeah. Woo! Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Well, looks like we got a little more water. Things are looking up, at least for this part. Caught 2 grayling, lost another one, and have floated for probably an entire 50 meters without having to drag. Crazy. Hopefully this keeps up. Wow, this is so beautiful. I know this is taking long to get down this creek, but overall this is just incredible. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, something for hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. That's trampled by turtles. Wah, wah, wah. Oh well. Well, it has been a pretty long and challenging day today. I've only made it maybe a bit more than halfway to the Hart River on Elliott Creek, so I'm definitely dealing with some low water conditions, and I'm basically walking Elliott Creek. I considered pushing on. It's about 7:30, maybe 7:45. I'm thinking I still have a far a ways to go as I just came, and that took me a full day and a half. And each day that water level starts to drop. So is it going to get harder and harder? I don't know. But at the same time, I also thought maybe it makes sense today to get a good start on the day tomorrow and maybe be able to bang it off if I put in a really long day. So that's what I've decided to do. And on top of that, I happen to come across a place where I can camp. It's pretty hard to find good camping in this area just because of, you know, the nature of the bushes on the side, the boggy ground, etc., etc. So I found a little gravel bar here, and I checked up over the bank, and there's a big nice place with, you know, with rocks. It looks like it's on the floodplain. So I'm gonna just take it. I also have some fish to eat, which I'm excited about. So basically, yeah, I think I'm gonna just unload my boat and get the tent set up and get some dinner cooking. Well, it's a little bit cramped up where I'm putting the tent, so I think I'm going to do my cooking right down here. Nice spot. Well,
This is the spot I'm working with. Way better than yesterday. Enough room for my tent and flat. So I will take it. Well, guess we're about to see how beat up the bottom of my canoe got today. Got a couple scratches in the gel coat. Well, I am starving, and since I got to camp a little earlier, I think I might cook up some stew, some fish stew actually. So it's about dinner time. My tummy's telling me it's dinner time. Well, with all the wading I'm doing on slippery rocks, it's really great to have a good pair of water shoes. And these are actually wading boots that fly fishermen use. They're meant for doing this. They're lightweight, they drain easily, and they got a lot of protection. A lot of the time when you're wading on rocks, if your shoes don't have protection, you slide off and you bang your feet and you pinch them between rocks and all that kind of stuff. But they also have soles with good grip for wet rocks. They're not felt. I used to put the replacement felt soles, which are the kind the fly fishermen would swap out on their wading boots, and I used to take those and put them on my river shoes. But I just realized, why not just wear the wading boots? Now felt is good. The problem with felt though is it's slippery when you're on land and you're on, say, dry leaves or pine needles. Now a lot of wading boots have a really grippy rubber sole. And that's because in some places felt soles are legal because they can actually transport invasive species. You know, where people fish one spot, then drive 3-4 hours, fish the next spot the next day. Okay, so I'm putting a little olive oil in this pot. Spices here. Next, we're putting in some parsley. I know it's parsley because I wrote parsley there. Okay, now I'm gonna add tomatoes. These are finely chopped tomatoes. Okay, now we're gonna get crazy with the spices. We're getting fancy, we're getting gourmet out here. We're gonna add some thyme. Add some black pepper. salt. Throw in some basil. Oh man, this is gonna be epic. Look at that. Now we have the special ingredient, clam juice. I'm serious, clam juice. And then the final ingredient, Arctic grayling, filleted up and cut into little squares. This is way more fish than the recipe called for, but I'm just kind of winging it. We just gotta let that fish cook. We're gonna have a hearty fish stew here. Now, the reason I made a tripod, I can raise and lower the pot to get it to the perfect heat. And it's a lot better than just putting the pot right on the fire, or even on a grill, which I don't have. You can really regulate that heat, and then you don't have to worry about your pot tipping over and dumping in. Oh, and I almost forgot one last little ingredient. Bacon bits. Bacon, it makes everything better. Wow. A lot of flavor. Check if the fish is cooked. Chunks of fish are cooked. Oh man. I'm gonna pound all this pretty quick. It's kind of a little spicy. Must have added a little more pepper than necessary, but I like it. I'm just gonna lift that up as high as it will go on the tripod and let it cool, and then I'm just gonna devour it and go to bed. I was supposed to get to bed early today, but then I did this whole mission of whipping up stew, and man, I want a good meal, but I'm just gonna have to wake up early and not sleep as much as I'd hoped, but I think it was worth it. As long as the creek doesn't dry up and I'm screwed, it was worth it.